Well, for 2 years, he's been at the helm of the FBI Baltimore field office. Now, Special Agent in Charge Gordon Johnson is retiring. WMER2 News' Mallory Safaste recently sat down with SAC Johnson. He shared a rare insight into the investigations the FBI does in Maryland and Delaware and how they're working to reduce violent crime in the city while identifying and stopping domestic terrorists as well. Mallory?
Yeah, Kelly, an act of domestic terrorism is what inspired him to join the FBI. He was in the military when the Oklahoma City bombing happened. 23 years later, he's leaving the agency after helping to prevent what could have been another major attack. At every scene, in different jurisdictions, 3 familiar letters stick out in the sea of investigators. In 2 years, the FBI responded to 6 active shooter incidents in the region, but preventing them has proved to be very challenging.
They are among us and could be anywhere, and that's why it's very difficult to root those folks out and identify them ahead of time.
One case Johnson believes they did get ahead of: a Silver Spring man and Coast Guard lieutenant arrested 2 weeks ago, accused of plotting a terror attack and stockpiling weapons and ammunition.
I did not sleep well from the time I heard about that case until he was arrested. You see the result and you realize that, we took a number of weapons, a significant amount of ammunition off the street. Each one of those rounds of ammunition could have been an individual tragedy.
Reflecting on their work in Baltimore, Johnson said the role of the FBI is to get the most violent criminals off the streets. People like Montana Barnett, recently sentenced to 2 life terms and described in court as a, quote, killer without a conscience.
A lot of this violence didn't happen overnight, and it took some time to get to where we are. And so I know that working together with our BPD partners, we're going to get control of it, but it's going to take some serious partnership and collaboration.
But when asked by former Baltimore Police Commissioner Kevin Davis to take over the case of Detective Sean Suter killed with his own service weapon, the FBI declined.
I'll stay away from that. I'm not going to answer that.
Even in light of the IRB report that...
No, I think it's more appropriate for me not to address that for a host of reasons. Number one, the letter went from BPD Commissioner to the Director of the FBI. The FBI at FBI headquarters responded to that, and so I think that answer has to suffice.
They did, however, take down a group of corrupt police officers known as the Gun Trace Task Force.
The community does not get better, it doesn't improve, it doesn't function the way it should if public officials, again, are betraying their oath for personal gain.
And the one case that left a lasting mark is that of Richard Collins III, murdered in May of 2017 in an alleged hate crime.
It's just a total tragedy. That's one that sticks out, and I'll carry that one into my retirement.
When asked about how the national rhetoric has impacted his agents, Johnson said they're not immune to changing public perceptions, but he wants people here to know that when they call their local FBI, they're calling someone who lives in their community, and they take it personally. And he said he feels honored and privileged to have served with the men and women in the FBI Baltimore and Delaware field offices. Johnson is retiring at the end of the week. He plans to take a break, then seek opportunities in the private sector.